Good afternoon. Today I'm speaking with Barb Gottselig from Harvard Western. How are you doing today, Barb?
Hi, good. Good. How are you?
I'm doing just great, thank
Good.
you. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me today, Barb. We're going to talk about the experience that you've had with iC3 and the Employee Engagement
Mhm.
Program. But before we get started, I'm wondering if you could introduce yourself and give us a little bit of history about what you've been doing over the past in your work world.
Okay, sure. I have been 25 years in the industry, just over 25 years, and I started as a part-time CSR with my parents in their brokerage, which is one of the brokerages that was purchased by Harvard Western. So that's where I kind of came into the organization. And I started, in every position. I worked through every position in the brokerage. It was really a small family business, and everybody had to do everything. And so that gave a lot of great experience and knowledge in every part of the brokerage. And then from there, my parents wanted to retire, so they sold, and we were purchased by Harvard Western and the group of branch offices with Harvard Western. And then I started managing that location. And then from there, I went into VP of personal insurance with the branch leaders reporting to me. And then I had a little, like some, different tweaks in titles and duties throughout the years, but now my title is VP of branch operations and people. The people side is a lot of the HR and hiring and stuff like that. So that's where you find me today.
Wow, that is amazing. What a broad background that you
Mhm.
have, so well-rounded, and where you
Mhm.
are today. Totally impressive. But honestly, I must admit, that's really why I was thinking that your
Mhm.
feedback would be so valuable to me,
Mhm.
particularly in this area with employee engagement. Um, so that's what we're going to be talking about today, employee engagement. And
Mhm.
like you and your team, you've been launching and having employee engagement surveys conducted over the years for a number of years, and your scores have gone, like we were just speaking about, -8 the very first time that we ran a survey,
Mhm.
up until 92% that it was your score that we had in the spring. So you've really come so far. So if you could think back to the beginning, what was the main struggle
Mhm.
or the main concern that you had that prompted you to say, hey, it's time to do an employee engagement
Mhm.
survey?
Well, I believe we've been doing it for 10 years. So that is super exciting. And I can't really speak to maybe a struggle, but we were just really we are a very old company with some of our branch offices being over 115 years old, and then just rebranding within within 10, 12 years. So we were a very young company, and we had acquisitions from different areas. And so it was more about getting our house in order, bringing all our different brokerages together under one sort of umbrella. So instead of like having just different silos, different people doing different things, we just kind of came together. So our for sure there was different things going on. So when we started doing the employee engagement surveys, we really heard from our employees, and it gave us
Mhm.
opportunities to work from there.
Yeah, I guess really it would be the opportunity to sort of get your culture pulled together with all of these different organizations and get some consistency in how things are being done.
Mhm. Yeah,
Awesome. That's
for
great.
sure.
So what were things like in terms of things like culture and the way people felt in the organization? What would you say things were like before you actually started measuring?
Well, I think before we started measuring, I have a feeling that we employees maybe weren't being heard. We didn't know what they were thinking, what was important to them, what they wanted. We were just going about day to day business, and there was no sort of proactive work being done. It was just day to day, we're doing business. And so it really gave us an opportunity to hear from our employees and hear what was important from them, or like for them. Yeah.
Right. It is very important for people to feel that they're being heard. That is for sure. It's one of the things that that's come out a lot in the surveys that we've conducted over the years. It's like number one, really. So you launched your first survey. What happened then?
Well, there was 10 years ago, that's quite a while, but I can think over the years, there was always something specific that we took away from it. There might have been several, those first few years, there might have been several actions that we, took away from the survey as takeaways, as improvements, stuff that we reported back to the staff. You always do a really good job debriefing with us. So just debriefing the results that we're looking at, and then, figuring out what is most important, really identifying the areas where we have concerns and we need to address them.
Mm-hmm. So when you recognize that, you then debriefed with your staff? You talked to the staff about it?
Yes, we do the survey. And, this has really been the process that you have guided us through over the years. We take the results back as a leadership team, we review them, and then we do debriefs with our staff. You gave us a lot of great guidance over the years to really go into those debriefs. Breaking out the teams and really just listening and recording stuff, not coming and getting justification or answers or anything like that, just like really listening. And then we would take away the information that we have heard, and then we would take it back as a leadership team. We would review some of the information, and then also that would be the point where we would figure out, okay, what is important this year? What are our takeaways? What kind of changes do we need to make this year?
That's awesome. Yes, so you're come up with an action plan basically based on what you've heard from the employees. That's really great. So what are things like now? Like what changes have you noticed now that you are actually conducting the surveys and asking the questions and listening to what the staff are telling you?
Well, I can think over the years of many, many things that we have implemented because of our survey. Our scorecard, our bonus performance system was a very huge thing, and it still remains a big part of us today. Is part of our incentive bonus structure is the scorecard system, and that came from feedback on our survey that employees needed to know, how to make more money, or, when they're doing a good job or a bad job, they needed to know these things. I think of an in-house training program that was established because of feedback that we got. I think of a career development program that was established because of feedback we received, and it's maybe employees saying they want this or that, or they didn't know about this or that, and we kind of take it, a huddle as a leadership team, and work to come up with solutions to solve the kind of the wants and needs of our employees.
Oh, that's great feedback, Barb. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so you've given me a lot of great feedback, and I know this is an ongoing process. It's something that you'll probably keep doing year after year because it is a pretty valuable thing for your employees. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Is there anything that's maybe missing?
Well, I think, just looking at the results, there's a piece of it is some like comments and feedback from the employees, but also just the structure of the report. It really lets us know if there is concerns in any specific area or with any specific manager, because we have it broken down by managers with direct reports. So, we can look manager by manager at their specific reports at areas that are a concern for their specific area of influence. And then it all rolls up into a company report. So we can look at an overall company report to see how we're doing as a company.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Well, that's great. That's really all we have to say today. And it's really great feedback. I really appreciate your time. So thank you so much. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
You too, Barb.